All right, I am so happy to be here with Jennifer to talk about her journey with body and soul coaching in our program, Metabolic Designs. We have an online 16-week group coaching program that Jennifer was part of, and she did amazing. Jennifer, I am so happy that you have decided to come on here and talk to me today.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for having me.
So I'm really excited. So I have some questions for you. My first question
Sure.
would be, what was happening before you started working with us? What was going on in your life, and what were you struggling with that made you want to reach out and start working on this?
Yep, I had been on different programs in the past many years, and some worked very well, but I found them hard to sustain, honestly. And then I was doing working out. I was doing some working out, but I felt like I needed a more intentional approach both to my nutrition and to my working out. And that's what this program has given me. It's been wonderful. So I had lost some weight, but then I was not able to sustain it and before I joined the program. And I also had been reading a lot about macros and really wanted to understand more about that and how that would work for me based on where I am in my life. And so this program also gave me great foundational information, education about that and how that works for me.
Awesome. Oh, that's great. I love to hear when people say they got educated, because that's what I love to do, is really teach people and empower them to be their own nutritionist. What was unsustainable about the other programs?
Well, I think it was probably my fault because I viewed them as a diet rather than a lifestyle. And so that's on me because, you hit a goal and then you're like, oh, I'm done, but you're never really done is the thing. So for me, it was more about having to reframe my thinking about what does this actually mean for me for the rest of my life and how am I going to maintain something in the long term and not just be a yo-yo person where I'm successful and then I slide back and then I do it again. And it was also very discouraging to be in a yo-yo situation because it was really, really hard for meal planning. It was really, really hard, for my family too, because we would say, let's do this. I'm like, oh, I can't do that. I'm on this diet, and so it really was just not working for me. This has just been such a life-changing type of mindset and program for me.
Yeah, it's amazing when you can make shifts on what's going on up here, right? And what
Yes,
you're able to follow through with. That's
yes.
great. What was the most surprising part of the program for you?
Well, for me, it was how much protein I should be consuming. That was the hardest thing, honestly, for me to get. I knew I had read that protein was really important, especially based on where I am in my life, but I didn't realize how much protein, and I had a hard time making that shift to getting enough protein. That was the most surprising, probably the most challenging part of the program for me. But once I did that, it just became like how I ate, and I would be conscious of it, like, okay, I'm going to go out and eat, or I'm going to prepare dinner. What can I do to make sure I'm accounting for my protein needs? So it just forced me to think differently about how might I ensure that I am consuming the right amount of protein for my body needs and my metabolism needs.
Excellent. That's a great way to look at it. When you start thinking that way, it's like, okay, what does my body need? Right? I
Hmm.
know it needs protein. Let me like prioritize that. And it is hard. It's like I think a lot of people hear that you see it everywhere now. You got to eat your protein, but like you said, you don't realize how much that is. I mean, it's different
Yeah.
for everybody, obviously, but when you realize just how much we need, it's like it can be overwhelming at first. It's like,
I mean, you
what?
think you have a chicken breast and there's my protein for the day. Not even close, for me, not even close. So
Right.
it was just having to constantly be thinking about, okay, this is what I have this is what my goal is for the day. And so I really need to be thinking mindfully about what I eat to make sure I'm actually hitting my macros correctly.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. And you did such a good job with that. That's why you got such
Yeah.
great results. I think you ended up with like 10 pounds and about 13 inches down. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's incredible. That
It
is,
was amazing. I mean, it was, and I was in when I was working with Renee, one thing I kept telling her was that it is just so motivating because it isn't just about the weight loss, but it's also about the body recomposition through the exercises. You talk about losing inches, no kidding, that actually means something when you're trying to fit into clothes. It isn't just about what the scale says, it's about like how does your body
right.
feel and um look and how is it, in terms of fat versus lean muscle versus other things. So it was actually really, really amazing and motivating for me.
Yeah, you did fantastic. And like we always do photos, to make sure that we're on track, because we know that the scale doesn't tell the whole story.
Yeah.
And looking at your photos, and I see this with a lot of clients, it's amazing how much the waist measurement goes down. And
Hmm.
so many people say, well, there's belly fat after menopause. You just can't get rid of the belly fat. And that's
Right.
so not true when you start living the lifestyle, like you said, and eating the macros based on your metabolism and what's right for you. Which I think is one of the things that differentiates us from other like mass produced programs is that we give you your individual
Yeah.
nutrition, you know.
I
Yeah,
totally agree, Lisa. That was actually been a really wonderful part of this program is the individualized nature of it. Because even I've been in Weight Watchers in the past, and while there is a program and there is, you know, there's group things you go to in Weight Watchers, not the same as having a personalized coach with a personalized program to meet my needs. So
right.
this has been just really wonderful.
Right, because you had Renee to follow you through the whole program,
Yep.
right? It's every
Yep.
single client has a dedicated coach that's
Yep.
going to take them through so they're fully immersed in what's going on with you and they understand not just your nutrition, but even your workouts. Do you have any injuries? You know, it's just, it really makes a difference when you get that individualized,
Yeah.
right?
Completely.
Yeah. Oh, that's so awesome. I'm so
Yeah.
excited for what you accomplished.
Thank you. I'm really excited too. I mean, I have a little ways to go to meet my goal, but I'm almost there. So it's just hopefully this will be a sustainable lifestyle for me. So far it has been, and I don't have any reason to think it won't be. So I'm really excited about what the future holds in that regard.
Excellent. What would you
Yeah.
say to like, oh, first, like from being in programs that didn't work, and then
Hmm.
it's like, okay, here's another program. A lot of people get very hesitant. It's like, oh, I'm not going to do that again. Did you have any hesitancies before you started?
Well, I did and I didn't. I didn't in the sense that I was ready for it. And I decided it was an investment in myself that I was willing to make. So I was ready. So I wasn't really hesitant. It was more just do I have the time to commit and the bandwidth to commit to it? And I did at that point in my life. So it was the right time and the right mindset for me to join.
Yeah, awesome. What would you say to someone who say another woman who like you know wants to get going on this and is unsure about making that investment? I would say this investment is not an expense, but who is hesitant, what would you tell them?
I would say really evaluate why you're interested in this and like what is your mental, um, your mental state in terms of committing to it because it is a commitment.
Mhm.
And and I think if people take the time to really think that through, and Lisa, you give some great tools to help people kind of think through why and what their goals are and why they're looking to make these changes and what are their stumbling blocks or their barriers and what how and so those are all really helpful exercises to force yourself to think it through. But I would say I think if people do the work to understand where they are and if they're ready to make that commitment, it can be a really valuable program.
Yeah, that's an important part of it. It's, I mean, obviously the program needs to be a sustainable, effective program, but it's also the person coming into it, the client coming into it, being ready to commit to themselves and being able to
Yeah.
show up and to be able to be consistent. It's like you can only meet somebody halfway. You can't
Yes.
drag them along, that's for
That's
sure.
right. And
But
I think you do a really nice job of explaining that right up front that we can't do this for you. We can educate you and give you tools and guide you, but at the end of the day, you have to do the work, which
right.
is 100% right.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you did the work. You did an
Yeah.
amazing job, and you are so consistent with it. I have no doubt that you won't have any problems. And if you do, you can always give me a call. But you're gonna do just fine. When you're
Thank you.
talking like 1 or 2 more pounds,
Yeah.
that's like okay. Now we're just talking about making little tweaks here and there that we need
Hmm.
to make throughout our lives, anyways, right? Because our
Yep.
metabolisms are constantly changing. But thank you so much for taking time to talk to me.
You're
And
welcome, Lisa. And can I add one more thing?
oh, absolutely.
Another really positive outcome of this program for me is that at my last physical, because of the weight that I've lost and the changes I've made, I was able to get off of my cholesterol medication. So to me, that's a huge thing because a lot of it isn't just about what you look like, it's about your health and your well-being. And so for me, being able to be off of that is remarkable and made me so happy. So I wanted to just share that too, that for me, it's had health benefits also.
Oh, big health benefits. That is
Yep.
wonderful being able to get off medication. I
Yep.
had a client that got off like 5 medications one time. It was amazing. And your doctor must have been thrilled.
Yeah, she's like, just keep doing what you're doing. She's like, just keep at it. Like, I will.
Awesome.
So, all good, all
Awesome.
good stuff. Thank you so much, Lisa, for inviting me for this conversation.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for
Of
taking
course.
time out to be with them. I know you're a busy woman. So thanks for being here, and anybody who's
Of
interested,
course.
please reach out, and I'll be more than happy to have a chat with you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.